Well, folks, it seems like every week there's a new outrage machine whirring away, and this week it's pointed squarely at CNN. Yes, the network that famously loves a good airport tarmac stakeout is once again in the crosshairs of MAGA personalities. They're not happy, and to be honest, they haven't been happy for a while. It's like that one friend who gets hangry if you don't serve dinner at exactly 6 p.m. Except instead of dinner, it's their specific brand of political commentary. Now everyone's entitled to their opinion, even if that opinion is that pineapple belongs on pizza. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. But when powerful figures start taking aim at a major news network, it's worth paying attention. Especially when it's tied to something called Project 2025, which sounds like a dystopian sci-fi film but is, unfortunately, very real. And no, it doesn't star Keanu Reeves, which is probably a good indicator that it's not going to end well for anyone. So what is Project 2025? It's basically a roadmap drafted by a conservative think tank for what a hypothetical second Trump term, or any Republican president for that matter, should look like. Think of it as a super detailed to-do list, except instead of pick up dry cleaning and call mom, it's more like dismantle regulatory agencies and reshape the judiciary. The folks behind it aren't exactly household names, but they're well connected in conservative circles. They're the kind of people who have fundraisers at golf courses and unironically use the phrase fiscal responsibility. And their vision for America? Well, let's just say it involves a lot less government and a lot more, well, them. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, this sounds about as subtle as a monster truck rally in a library, and you'd be right. But here's the thing. Blueprints, unlike monster trucks, can actually be used to build things. And in this case, they're trying to build a very specific kind of America.
One of the more ambitious aspects of Project 2025 is its approach to the media. And by ambitious, I mean potentially terrifying. They call it reining in the administrative state, but it sounds like turning the government into a giant PR machine.
David Roberts, an energy and climate writer, has been sounding the alarm about this. He argues that Project 2025 could fundamentally undermine journalism in a democracy.
Imagine every government agency run by people protecting the party in power, not the public, where scientific data is twisted or ignored if it doesn't fit the narrative. That's not just bad for journalism, it's bad for all of us.
Section 4. Government by Spin, the Propaganda Playbook. Now, I'm not saying that every Republican is suddenly going to sprout a handlebar mustache and start tying damsels to railroad tracks. But when you have a plan that explicitly calls for using the levers of government to control the flow of information, it's hard not to be a little concerned. It's like your friend who insists on controlling the music at every party. Eventually, you just stop showing up. Think about it. If the government gets to decide what's true and what's not, who are you going to trust? Fox News? CNN? Your crazy uncle who thinks the moon landing was faked? By the way, it wasn't, but nice try, Uncle Steve. This isn't about left versus right. It's about right versus wrong. A healthy democracy needs a free and independent press to hold those in power accountable. Without it, we're all just living in a carefully curated reality show. And trust me, folks, reality TV is fake enough as it is.
Section 5. Why neutral journalism matters more than just headlines. Look, I get it. Journalism isn't perfect. Sometimes it feels like reporters are more interested in getting clicks than getting the story right. And yes, there are definitely biases out there. But the alternative, a world where the government controls the narrative, is far, far worse. Neutral journalism is like that friend who tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. They might not always be right, but at least they're trying to be fair. They present the facts, even the uncomfortable ones, and let you draw your own conclusions. In an age of deepfakes, misinformation, and politicians who can't seem to tell the truth even when it's written on their teleprompters, neutral journalism is more important than ever. It's the bedrock of a functioning democracy. It's what allows us to have informed debates, hold our leaders accountable, and hopefully avoid driving our country off a cliff.
Section 6. Stay informed, stay vigilant, the future of truth. So what can we do about it? Stay informed. Read widely from a variety of sources. Don't just stay in your echo chamber. Challenge yourself. Question everything. Support real journalism. Subscribe to a newspaper. Donate to investigative journalism organizations. Democracy is messy, loud, and often frustrating. But it only works if we're all paying attention. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and avoid politicians promising to fix the news. That's it for me, folks. Go out there and make good choices.